Okay, so this actually happened to me back in school, and honestly, it felt like I was starring in my own stealth mission. One day, I just wasn't feeling this one class. Maybe the lesson was super boring or I was just stressed. So I decided to sneak out for a bit. I figured I'd just step outside, catch some fresh air, maybe scroll on my phone for a few minutes. As soon as I left the classroom, I immediately saw the hall monitors walking down the hallway. They looked like they were on high alert, scanning the halls like hawks. My heart started pounding, like full-on racing, because I knew if they caught me, I'd be in big trouble. So I had to move super fast but also be quiet, which honestly felt impossible. I was ducking behind lockers and corners, pretending to be on my phone like I belonged there, just trying not to breathe too loud. Then it got worse. I got stuck in this narrow hallway because two teachers were standing and chatting right where I needed to go. I literally froze for a good minute, just watching them, thinking, okay, if I move, they'll see me, but if I stay, I'm stuck here. My mind was racing. Should I turn back and risk running into more teachers, or try to sneak past and get caught for sure? At that moment, I was seriously sweating. I felt like I was playing a real-life verse. Then, out of nowhere, my friend across the hall saw me and gave me this quick signal to come with them to the bathroom. It was the perfect hiding spot. Quiet, out of sight, and totally off the teacher's radar. I stayed there, heart pounding, until I was sure. After what felt like forever, I sneaked back to class and acted like nothing happened. Honestly, it was one of those moments where I realized school wasn't just about classes, it was also about survival skills. That moment when I sat down and realized I wasn't going to get caught, that was the biggest relief of my life, way more satisfying than finishing any obby. I kept my head down, pretending like I'd been there the whole time. I opened my notebook and started flipping through random pages like I was deep in the zone. But honestly, I had no idea what was going on in the lesson. I was just trying to look busy enough that nobody would question it. My hands were still a little shaky. I had just dodged what felt like an entire school security system. It was like sneaking past a high-level checkpoint just to get back to my desk. A few classmates glanced my way, not loudly or obviously, but with that subtle, "Weren't you gone just now?" look. My friend, 2 rows over, gave me the classic bro face, raising his eyebrows and tilting his head like he couldn't believe what he was seeing. I just gave him a tiny nod and mouthed, "Later." But the real test was the teacher. She stood near the whiteboard going over something about equations, or grammar, or maybe even time travel for all I knew. I couldn't focus. I was watching her every move, waiting for her to call my name. If she did, I was ready to fake a cough or pretend I felt dizzy, anything to avoid suspicion. She turned around, looked right at the class, and kept talking. That was it. No mention of me being late. No questions at all. Not even a side-eye glance. Either she hadn't noticed, or she had, and decided to let it slide. Either way, I wasn't going to push my luck. I stayed completely silent the rest of the class. Didn't raise my hand, didn't say a word. I even nodded along, pretending to understand the lesson just to sell the act. Meanwhile, I was still mentally replaying everything that had just happened like it was a scene from a movie. And of course, that class felt like it lasted forever. I kept checking the clock every couple of minutes, hoping the bell would ring soon. But time? Time was crawling. Finally, the bell rang. I grabbed my stuff so fast you'd think someone hit the fast-forward button. I didn't say a word. Just walked straight out the door, trying to look as casual as possible, like I hadn't just skipped half the period and barely survived. As soon as I stepped into the hallway, I let out the biggest sigh of relief. I actually made it. No detention, no phone call home, no write-up. Just me, quietly celebrating the cleanest stealth mission I've ever pulled off. It felt exactly like clearing the final level of Escape School Obby, except instead of dodging obstacles, I was dodging teachers and getting away with it. But I felt this quiet confidence wash over me, like I had just completed the toughest challenge without anyone noticing. No punishments, no awkward conversations, just me getting away with it. Honestly, that rush was better than any game victory, and for once, real life felt like the ultimate escape room.